back. Ready, happy to be with you again. It's the TuVues podcast. Keith and Kev, here with you today. We're ready to spit some more knowledge to y'all and get some feedback from y'all on how we can help uplift y'all in the community. What's up?
What up, family? What up, man? Like you said, we back, man. TuVues. The greatest podcast out there. Let me put it out there, man. We might not have a lot of viewers,
tell you,
bro. Our top is on point, man. And this week ain't no different. We coming another hot one. It is what it is, know what I mean? But we back, man. This birthday week, bro.
Yeah, happy birthday, man.
Man, this come out ain't gonna be a birthday yet, man. But it's birthday week, though, man.
It's gonna be a day or a birthday. Happy birthday, like I said.
Man, we getting old, man.
Big 4-0, man.
Feel good, though, man. Feel good, man. But you know how it is.
Yep. Another day, another dollar. You know what, man? I'm gonna say this since it is our 40th, man. I'm just happy to be alive and blessed with God's presence, man. I'm just gonna be real. I mean, you get to a point where you just you just thankful, man. I'm just at the a point in my life where I'm just thankful for everything I have, being able to make this milestone. We just blessed, man. We've been covered for 40 years. And I'm just excited about what the next chapter is.
Yeah, highly favored, man. Every time we come around this type of year, man, especially and this year it's hit me even a little bit more because it is a milestone for us, man. But I always think about the people we grow up with that didn't hit this milestone or nowhere near it, man. It's like we're blessed. We're blessed. And you can't take that away from us or can't take it away from what God has done. Can't take it away from His glory. And to everybody who's watching this, if you're watching these, man, you tap it into our podcast. You're blessed. No matter where you are in your situation in your life, you're blessed to be able to even listen to this podcast, to breathe. Every time around this year, I just take a deep breath and be like, "Yep, I'm still here. I'm still here."
So
this is absolutely
count it all joy. Count it all joy. Just excited, man. Man, the whole worst part though, man, is having to celebrate. It's only one bad part about it, man. Having to celebrate your birthday with the ugliest person you've ever seen in your life, right? Breath be smelling like sweaty elbows, but you gotta celebrate every birthday for 40 years with this buddy, man. It's crazy.
Hey, they call me LL Cool K. Ladies love
you
me.
Get
cool
your goof.
Yeah. Don't hate, man. Don't hate, bro. Don't hate, man.
My A1 since day one, man. I wouldn't have rather celebrate a birthday with nobody else.
Yeah, we got that weird birthday, Christmas, birthday combo, but it is what it is. Still great.
Still blessed.
Right, man, so let's roll into this, man. Y'all know how we jump it off, man, with KLG's top 5. What up?
KLG's top 5. Man, next time you interrupt me and not let me do my intro, man, I'm swinging on you next time I see you.
My bad, bro. My bad. Hit it though. Hit the intro, man. Go ahead.
KLG's top 5. Let's get it.
As long as you don't do that. They kill Chuck. Don't ever do that. Hey, don't ever do that no more, man. Hey, this top 5 gonna be interesting, man. Like a lot of people ain't gonna be able to. A lot of people might be able to deal into this one, man. But it's a little bit different. Me and Keith are big into martial arts, man. We're big into martial arts. We did it when we were younger. We taught ourselves some stuff, all the time. We made our own weapons, all that type of stuff, right? So, today's top 5 is gonna be top 5 martial arts movies of all time. The top 5 martial arts movies of all time. Now, it has to be a martial art, right? Right. So, and it's so many varieties of it, but you know what I mean. When we talk about top 5 martial arts, man, we're not trying to go into if you got Never Back Down on your list, I'm a snap, right? It's a good movie.
Never Back Down.
It's mixed martial arts, right? But nah.
Hey man, if you got Never Back Down, man, we're gonna take your martial arts card, man. It's all right,
but it's a decent movie, but it won't be in my top 5. But
man, I'm gonna let you go first. Three ninjas over Never Back Down.
Man, pause, man.
Okay, all right. All right. Let me. I already know it. Hey, let me jump it off. All right, here we go. I'm gonna go with my 3 honorable mentions, and 3 of my I'm gonna let you know like this. My 2 top martial artists of all time are gonna be Bruce Lee and Jet Li. So you're gonna see them on this list, right? And you're gonna see them off. And my matter of fact, 2 of my honorable mentions feature Jet Li. So first, I'm gonna go with my lowest of the honorable mention. It balanced. I'm gonna go with Bloodsport. I'm gonna go with Bloodsport as one of my honorable mentions. I just like the kind of like the storyline, even though we find out that the storyline was a little fake. That Frank Dukes wasn't really telling the truth. But I like Bloodline. Then I'm gonna go with
It wasn't too far off though. It was there was a competition, right? But it wasn't.
But they saying they saying my boy lied, man. It wasn't even no competition. Which we'll see. All right, so I'm gonna go with Bloodsport. Number 2 gonna be Kiss of the Dragon. That's one of Jet Li movies. I think one of my favorite part of this movie was when Jet Li, if I'm not mistaken, this is the one where he fights the dojo. And he mimics Bruce. He mimics Bruce Lee's like where he fights in the dojo. So I'm gonna go with Kiss of the Dragon, and then my other honorable mention is going to be Fearless. I think Fearless is underrated, another Jet Li movie, and I think I think that's another underrated martial arts movie. So those are my honorable mentions: Fearless, Bloodsport, and Kiss of the Dragon. So I'm gonna go with my number 5, Ip Man 1. My 5th of my honorable mention will be the first Ip Man movie. I think it got kind of like watered down and kind of like the storyline got kind of like shaky when you after 1. But Ip Man 1 was a dope martial arts movie. So I'm gonna go with Ip Man 1 as
4 was shaky. 4 was a little shaky.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go with Ip Man 1 as my number 5. My number 4, Bruce Leroy and the Last Dragon. I'm going with the Last Dragon as my 4th martial arts movie of all time. I don't care what you say. If that movie come on TV right now, you ain't watching it. Bruce Leroy.
I'll probably watch it, but come on, go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Now my number 5 is Fist of Legends, and if I'm not mistaken, this is kind of like I think this is the one with Jet Li, and this is the one where he I don't know if you remember this one, but this is one where he fight one of the masters and he keeps switching styles. Because he first he's doing regular kung fu, and then he switched to Jeet Kune Do, and so that's gonna be my number 3. That movie, every fight scene in that movie was dope. Working. Yeah, he did Muay Thai. He to me that's another. I don't know if it's underrated. I think most people will have it pretty high on list. So I'm gonna go with Fist of Love, and then you got Fist of Fury, and this is the one that kissed. If tell me, I may got these 2 backwards. I may got Fist of Fury and Fist of Legends. So if y'all notice, I'm getting them wrong, but I don't think I do. I think Fist of Fury is the Bruce Lee version of the one that Jet Li made, where he fights the dojo, where he beats up the whole dojo. That's Fist of Legends. That's gonna be my number 2, and then my number 1 of all time. That's Enter the Dragon, man. Enter the Dragon is my number 1 martial arts movie of all time. I think Bruce Lee just that every fight sequence in that movie was just dope. So I'm gonna go with Enter the Dragon. That's my top 5.
This boy had the nerve to criticize 3 Ninjas, but have Bruce Leroy in his top 5. Boy, if you don't,
you gotta go take Last Dragon over it. And I love 3 Ninjas. You gonna take, man? Listen, bro. Listen, I'm surprised. You surprised I have Ninja Turtles 1 in there, man. I reckon that's the version of the Turtles in there, but man,
I was thinking about it. Hey,
yeah, I'm taking Last Dragon as my number 4, bro.
You're not gonna like my number 1, but I don't care what nobody.
Here we go.
Don't care what nobody said. This movie, and if you don't
be Undisputed 3,
no, I ain't got no Undisputed. So anybody that don't like my number 1, I want you to go watch the movie. Go watch it.
Let's see what it is. Let's see what it is.
This is one thing I'm gonna say though, Keith. I don't have not one Jet Li movie in my list.
Man,
I don't have a
hey,
I don't
okay.
have a Jet Li movie in my list.
That's
I don't
equivalent to that Bernie Mac mistake you made, bro. That's
I don't have
equivalent
a
to the Bernie Mac mistake, man.
Key. That's not equivalent to the Bernie Mac. That was a huge mistake. That's not equivalent at all. Not even close. All right, so I'm gonna go my honorable mentions, my three honorable mentions. So Bloodsport, I agree. Bloodsport is an honorable mention. That's a one. That only because not only for the time it was made, it was a big time movie at that time, right? It
Yeah,
was a huge movie.
Chong Li was that guy.
One you don't have, man, that I thought would be in your honorable mentions was Ong Bak. I thought Ong Bak would be in your honorable mentions, man. Hey, using the elbows and knees, bro. Ong
Yeah,
Bak.
I can give you top 10. I can't give you top
Bak.
5.
Bak. But that's another one where as they did more, it started to dilute it
God,
a
yeah,
little bit.
yeah.
And my other honorable mentions is Three Ninjas, bro. I think right. You're right. You ain't got Three Ninjas in yours because you was Tum Tum. I was Colt and Kurt was
No, I
Rocky.
wanna no. I want no
Folks was
Tum Tum.
Folks was Tum Tum, man.
Rocky
Three Ninjas,
loves
man.
Emily.
Bro, Three Ninjas, man. That was a great kid martial art movie, bro.
And all 3 movies were good. All 3 movies were good.
All of them was good, right? I was gonna
Yeah.
put Sidekick, then I rethought about Sidekick, but it was all right. So here go my top 5, right? You're gonna hate this 5. And you probably don't even think this would be considered a martial arts movie. But I think it's a martial art movie. Last Samurai is my 5. I think Last Samurai was a dope martial arts movie. And it's historical. That's why you should like it.
Hold on. You talking about the one with Keanu Reeves?
Not Keanu Reeves, the
Bro,
one
with Tom Cruise? With Tom Cruise?
yeah.
Listen. One of my favorite movies of all time. Not a martial arts movie. Not a martial arts movie.
Yeah, I was iffy on it, but I love the movie, right? And it has
One of my
samurais
favorite
in
all
it
time.
and
Yeah,
ninjas.
I get you. One of my
So,
favorite, but not a my.
Yeah, it's historical, right?
It's iffy. You're right. It's iffy.
All right, 4, and I'm surprised you have none of these on your list. I'm gonna say Karate Kid 2, the second one.
Where you go? Japan?
No, that's third, ain't it? That's 3.
No, 2. He goes to Japan. You talking about 3? Which one are you talking about?
The second tournament. The second tournament.
That's 3.
Okay, it's Karate Kid 3.
I'm about to say something crazy to you right now, bro.
What?
The Jaden Smith one was better than that one. No, I ain't gonna say that.
The Jaden Smith one was decent though. It wasn't horrible.
It was, but I would take of the 3 Karate Kids. 3 was my favorite. 3 was my favorite of the trilogy.
3. That's my 4. Now you're gonna hate this. My number 3 is Enter the Dragon. Bruce Lee gotta be on my list.
3.
He's 3 because I got Ip Man 1. I got Ip Man 1 as 2. Ip Man 1 was dope. Ip Man 1 was dope.
It wasn't better than Enter the Dragon though,
bro. Ip Man 1 was dope.
It was, but it wasn't better than Enter the Dragon.
But
you ain't got no Jet Li movie, so your list done anyway. You ain't got no Jet Li movie.
Bro, just think what I had at 1, 2, and 3. What do you think my 1 is?
Oh, you finna pick? I guarantee it's a Jackie Chan movie, probably Drunken Kung Fu.
Jackie Chan is not on my list.
Ninja Assassin.
Ninja Assassin is my number 1. Ninja Assassin is dope.
Listen. Dope. I can't hate on you with you because the fight sequences are dope. I can't hate.
But when you talking about pure,
when you talking about pure martial arts movie, no man, it could be in your top 10, top 15. But martial the fight
rewatch it.
I watched it about a month ago. It's dope. Don't get me wrong, it's dope. But your number 1, bro,
is my top martial arts movie,
bro.
I'm so mad that they never did a 2, bro. They never did a 2
with no Jet Li movies, bro. And Enter the Dragon is 3. Hey, y'all comment about his list.
Bro, I was looking at all the Jet Li movies. I love Jet Li too, right? He's one of my favorites. But I just didn't know which one of his movies to put up there, man, right?
Man, I could have put 6 up there.
I was thinking about the 1, but I was like, that's too movie like. Like he got a whole bunch that you could put in there. I mean, he'll have some of my top 10, right?
Mr. Fury is crazy, man.
I think some of his can knock out some of my honorable mentions for sure. But
Man, he
I don't
can knock
think
out
none of
some of your
his can.
top 10. Man, come on, cat. You
Name a
got
top 10. Only
it,
top
man.
10. Only top 10 he can probably knock out. It's only 2 that he can probably knock out, and that's
Woo.
Last Samurai, Karate Kid. Those
He
are 2 he
can
can probably
knock out
knock out.
Ninja Assassin.
You tripping? You
Kevin,
tripping?
okay, listen.
You
Kevin,
tripping?
I can name 5 to 6 Jet Li movies better than Ninja Assassin.
No, you can't.
Are you?
I
You
challenge you
tripping,
to.
bro?
We
You
can go look
tripping,
at.
bro?
Oh wait, you name your 5 or 6, and we'll go look at the Rotten Tomato scores for each of them and compare to Ninja Assassin.
Okay, let's do it.
Let's do
Let's
that.
do it. We're gonna have it and we're gonna post it on TuVues Facebook when we get the list. I'm telling you, man, you sleep.
sleeping on Ninja Assassin. You
And
sleeping on
Ninja
Ninja
Assassin is
Assassin,
one
bro.
of my favorite ninja movies of all time. It just wouldn't be in my. It may make my top 15. A martial arts movie.
15. This fool said 15.
It may, but it may make 15.
Bro, it's like even the beginning sequence, bro. The beginning, it's like it gets you super intrigued. Go dark in there. They in there. I don't think it's Yakuza. Her they were the gang. Go dark. He just
Kevin,
bro. The opening scene,
no,
like
it's dope,
tap in.
bro. I get you. It's dope. It's dope, man. But number one, hey man, no. Over Enter the Dragon. I could have taken if you put it as 2 or 3, but 1. All right, man.
Hey, you want to know what would have been dope though? I love the dude who plays Scorpion Mortal Kombat, the new Mortal Kombat. I think he a great pick. Was that dude who was in Ninja Assassin was Scorpion?
Yeah, that would be dope.
Dope.
That would be dope.
Or if he was a dude, what the main character in his last Mortal Kombat, if he was him.
Yeah.
That would have been dope.
Hey,
dude,
but that's a martial artist buddy who played Sub-Zero. It's dope.
Oh, he cold.
I guess just as a legit martial artist, he dope.
Oh, cold. Cause did you watch the show on HBO Max I told you about where they they in the Wild Wild West, they're like Chinese people, they do the 2 groups they fight. I'm gonna say to he's on there. He's cold in that too, bro. And the dude who played Storm Shadow in the last G.I. Joe, he part of the other clan. Yeah. Bro, I thought I told you about this.
Cold. You told me, but I just ain't never seen it.
Cold, bro. Cold. I can't wait till the new season starts. Cold. Well, that's my list, man. Last Samurai is number 1. Hands down. Ain't no competition. No,
you mean Ninja Assassin.
Not Last Samurai. Ninja Assassin. Last Samurai was I love Last Samurai though, man. It's a good
it's one I watch every time. Yeah, watch every time I come on TV.
Top 5, man. Let us know what y'all think, man. Just give us y'all, if you watch martial arts movies, what's your top 5? What you think about our list? Keep not having 3 ninjas, but having Bruce Lee Roy on his list. Crazy to me. Man, he talking about my list, and he got. Listen, y'all. He talking about my list. He got Last Dragon in his top 5 people. Come on, man.
Enough.
And he's tripping out. So you'll put. Hold on. Before we switch over to dad jokes, you will put Bruce Lee Roy over Ninja Assassin?
If you say I have to sit down and watch one and only got one choice, bro, I'm picking Bruce Lee Roy. I'm picking Last Dragon.
Oh my.
And I love Ninja Assassin. I'm picking Bruce Lee Roy.
We're about to go to dad jokes. Because that was blasphemy. You know it was blasphemy. You can't even say that with a straight face. You can't say that with a straight face.
Man. Yes, I'm serious, man. Straight up.
You can't even say that with a straight face, bro. You know you can't, man. Here we go, man. Let's get to these dad jokes, though, man. Dr. Davis's dad jokes.
Hey, I got 2 good ones, bro. You got to pay real close attention, though. I need you to focus.
I am.
Lock in.
I am.
Lock in, bro. Okay. How does NASA plan a party? How does NASA? Oh, I messed up the joke. Okay, it's supposed to go. How does NASA organize a party? Now it's gonna say they plan it.
Yeah, that would be fun if you didn't mess it up, bro.
All right, I can't mess with this. Okay, my last one. I can't.
Yeah.
Come on, kid, you can't mess this one
Well,
up, bro.
you can't.
You
That would
can't
have
mess
been
it.
good if you didn't mess it
Hey,
up, bro.
yeah, I done messed up the joke. Okay, here we go. My last one, bro. All right, ready? What is Forrest Gump's favorite generation? What is Forrest Gump's favorite generation? Gen A.
Hey, you stupid, man. You stupid, man. Hey, that was probably the best one you ever did, man. That's probably the best one you ever did, man. You
Hey,
stupid.
I told you I had two good ones today, bro.
Hey, man, that's probably the best one you ever did. You dumb. You stupid. Oh man, those would
You
have been
gotta
too
tell
good ones
Nisha
if
that
you
one.
mess up. If he messed up the first one, man, that
Oh
that would have been
man,
two good ones, man.
Jedi.
You stupid.
Hey, do you realize? Hey, you don't know how long I've been holding on for that one because we didn't record last week. I've been holding on that for 2 weeks, bro. I've been laughing at myself at work for the past 2 weeks. The same joke.
Yeah, but we was in
Oh, that
Vegas last week.
was dad jokes, man. I had two good ones, man. I done messed up the first one, though, man. We good though.
Yeah, man, that was funny, man. That one was good. That was a good one right there. I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one. All right, man. Dr. Davis on them dad jokes, man. Let us know you like them, you didn't like them. Clown on about messing up that first one, man. We got to
Oh,
be on par. Like he's slipping. But that second one was
yeah,
solid, man.
slipping.
Let us know what y'all think about it, man. And if y'all got something for him, hit him up, man. Throw him
Yeah,
some lobs. Don't be
yeah.
afraid to
I
throw him a few
love them.
lobs, man.
Man. My clip getting empty.
But this is what I'm saying, though. If y'all throw him a lob and it's trash, I'm going to ask him to call out your name. We're going to call out your name if it's trash. Who gave you that one?
We can do it. We're
Calling
gonna
you
do it
out.
like it's opening mail. That's how we're gonna do it.
Straight up. Straight up. Or Leffy Taffy rappers.
Yeah.
All right, man. Dr. Davis Dad Jokes, hit us up. All right, man. So we're gonna jump into the topic, man. So we want to have a topic about so we both been through situations where we got out of relationships and then trying to maneuver and figure out what was the next step, how we get involved in another one, like how does that look. So we want to have a little topic about uh a new chapter in life, right? A new chapter when it comes to having a relationship or starting a relationship after losing one or after loss. This is a topic I think everybody can associate with. If you've been in a relationship your whole life and ain't nothing happened, and you never been out of one, awesome. But probably
Yep.
99% of y'all, you probably been through something that failed, and you had to rebound and figure out what the next step and how to maneuver. So we're gonna start from the bottom, right? Start from the bottom. Dealing with the loss or the ending of a relationship or ending of something, especially if it's long term. Short term can still be hard too, but those long
Mm-hmm.
term was where there was this connection, and it was severed. How to deal with that loss. So we can talk about our own situations and how we dealt with it, but also we can also talk about it on the more general side of how we should look at loss and dealing with. So on your side, how should we deal with loss or losing somebody, losing a relationship, or losing this perspective?
So when you're dealing with loss, it's important that we keep in the context that a loss is still is a trauma, right? And it's a traumatic episode. It's a traumatic situation that takes you through a gamut of emotions, and none of them emotions are wrong, right? Because there's some stuff I'm gonna talk about in a little bit where you have to analyze on your part, but I just want people to know that when you're going through a loss of a loved one, as far as relationship wise, you guys decide to separate for whatever reason it may be, whose fault, none of that matters at this point on what we're talking about. But there are levels when you're in long term relationships. There are typically levels to the emotions that you experience. Um, depending on how the separation comes about, most of the time, even though a lot of people say those separations are mutual, a lot of times they're not. You got it's different between being mutual and coming to an agreement to end it, right? And you have to separate the two, right? You guys may agree, like, yeah, no, we should separate. Such and such is happening, but mutuals be like both of y'all come together and say, this ain't working for either one of us. You good, I'm out. But typically it don't go that way. It's usually one person coming and saying, you know what, this is not working for me. I want to separate, and then you guys agree to separate. Right, that's different. It's important to separate the two, because even in that latter instance I gave you, it still could be traumatic. Right, there's still a trauma associated with it. And just remember that when you go through these, and I went through every single one of these emotions when I went through this process and it's, like I said, one of my first breakup, but it was the hardest. But because it was ending of a 15-year relationship. But you go through stages of sorrow and sadness. You go through levels of anger. You go through betrayal. Sometimes you feel abandoned. Sometimes you just flat out depressed. But it's okay to understand that you're probably going to go through every single one of those emotions, especially when it's a long-term relationship and it's one that you didn't want to end. Right? And that one that ended because it didn't work, or if there was some type of infidelity or some type of abuse or something that was a part that is associated with it, you go through those gambits of relationships. So when you're dealing with loss, understand that the emotions are real, they're natural, and they're going to come. And they're going to come in a cycle. And that cycle is not always the same each time it comes. And so understanding that you go through those emotions and that it is a traumatic event will help you get through it. I think sometimes we can't deal with the fact that it is a trauma, that it is a death, that it is a loss. And if we attack that loss and that loneliness and that depression and that anger and that betrayal, that's with that mindset, like this is a traumatic experience, then it'll create a direction for us to get out of it. And so I just want people to understand that that it's okay to go through those gamut of emotions when you go through a loss. In my situation, it was like I got hit with a freight train, right? And when you talking about a 15-year marriage, 2 kids, two doctorates, like a lot of schooling, going through the mud together. Um, Everything was connected. And it was like it literally, kid, felt like I got hit with a train, man. Like my chest, that the anxiety and panic attacks were so heavy, my chest would tighten. It felt like I got hit by a vehicle. Um, but I can say that I went through every single gambit of those emotions, and I'll talk about a little later how I still go through the gambit of those emotions. But that's critical, because we got to think about the time it takes to rebound to deal with these situations. It's very important. And I guess we may get to that later, but I want to make sure we get to that. But I had to, when dealing with the loss, because you asked me like how did I deal, how I dealt with the loss. With dealing with the loss, I had to realize that it was a loss, and I had to spend that time understanding that that is a process to get through that loss. Like I'm through the loss, even though there's like small little emotions there. I'm through the loss, but I had to understand, like, okay, in order for me to rebound from this, it's going to take time, and I got to have a focus and a direction. Without those, that creates more depression. So I just had to make sure I dealt with it by saying, okay, let me get the right people around me, let me get the right resources, and get whatever support I need to get through it. And I went through several types of support. I went through divorce care, which I think is a great program for those who are Christian or spiritually minded who are going through a divorce. Divorce care was phenomenal for me. I had a therapist, and I had a psychiatrist. I had and then I had this group of people who supported me through thick and thin. I don't mind naming out. First of all, of course, going to be KFG, who was there through me through everything. My family, my brothers and sisters, Amanda, who is now my current girlfriend. You got Shanika, who was like man, just 10 toes down with me through the whole thing. I got people at work. I had Virginia. I had Dr. Land. I had Lamish. I had a whole group of people who said, keep them here with you. So your support system is super important. Having a support system and recognizing that it's a loss that you can bounce back from is very important, because sometimes we go through these mental rabbit holes where we get in this woe is me moment, when we should actually take this time as opportunity. And I want to get to that a little later about taking this time, this new approach, as an opportunity rather than defeat, because a lot of us look at it as defeat or failure.
Yeah, so for me, I think people, this is my opinion, I think people deal with loss of a relationship or a loved one, and we're talking about relationship, not death, right? I'll make sure we make
Mhm.
that clear. People deal with it in literally two ways, right? You internalize it or you externalize it. I've done both, right? You either bottle it up and it
Mhm.
comes out
Agreed.
into the things you do in life, like it slowly seeps out in other things in your life, or you externalize it where you do just dumb stuff. You just go out and just do dumb stuff. So I've been in two situations, two marriages. Let's just be blunt, right? Two marriages, two failed marriages, where both of them were different as far as what I did after they failed, right? So the first one,
Mhm.
externalized, attempted suicide. That's how hard it hit me, right? Externalized it, took it so hard, hit me so hard because, like you said, like nobody really like the way you set it up, and when you said it's either mutual or it's one side wants it, and then you finally come together and say,
I agree.
"Do you agree that to end it?" Right? So that's, I think, both of mine were. I never wanted either one, but in time it was like this probably is better. The first one I didn't want at all. The second one I didn't want, but I knew there was no coming back from it. Right, from where we were, where the situation was. So the first one externalized it. The second one I internalized it, right? And I started seeing it, and I held it in how I was feeling about it. I spoke to some people about it, but I got this I don't care attitude in the second one, right? Just don't care about like, and I'm gonna tell you what this I don't care attitude isn't a bad thing. I'm gonna tell you what it turned into, which I talk about in some of the other podcasts. I'm gonna tell you what that actually turned into, which I still walk through at this current moment. This is how I live my life. But I got this out of character. But at the time, it started to seep out of everything else, and nobody knew how it was really affecting me inside because I didn't really pour it out too much to many people. I didn't go to counseling this time on it. Not much counseling at all on the second one. And so that was the internal side of it. So externalized, internalized, both can be detrimental. Both can be absolutely detrimental to the way you move as you move forward after that loss.
Mhm.
And if you don't get help to stop both of those in their tracks, you'll do the suicide attempts, or you get the people that go out and stalk their exes and get arrested for doing dumb stuff, and emotionally, if you bottle it up, it affects your kids because now that internal pain you're dealing with is now causing you to be angry at your kids when they didn't do nothing wrong. It's just you dealing with something emotionally inside of you. So both of those, internally and externally, can be huge problems when dealing with the loss of a relationship or somebody you care so much about. And that's the big thing about it is your heart, right? When your heart gets entangled in something so tightly, the heart is the most precious thing in the world, right? It's the most precious thing on earth. Um, and when it gets punctured or stabbed or ripped apart, it is painful. It is spiritually, emotionally painful, which eventually seep out to being physically painful. So dealing with loss is not easy. It will never be easy unless you never cared in the first place. You have to care in order for it to hurt. There has to be some sort of care for it to hurt. And so that's where I was with mine. That's how I feel. That's the two ways I think people deal with it and how they maneuver afterwards. But how what are some methods or techniques that you use, or I know you dove into it a little bit, some methods or some structure you put around you to like smother those flames and those fires to limit that pain, that hurt. And I know it wasn't easy and I know it took time, but what are some of those mechanisms that people can use to when they get out of something serious and it affects them in such a way that they can say, you know what, it's gonna take me time, but these are the steps, these are the people, these are the, you know, thoughts or books or whatever that I should do in order to move forward.
So I do want to say two, it kind of goes into this, but I do want to say two quick things about the other side, which is the people. I'm gonna talk about the support. If you have somebody in your life who's dealing with the loss of a relationship, and I like I said before, they're going to go through a gambit of emotions. Um, that doesn't mean they're bipolar, right? And let's take out using bipolar as a term to describe people when their emotions change, and we use it as a negative connotation. First of all, I want to say let's stop that, because bipolarism is an actual condition, a mental health condition that we know. Me and Kevin are proponents of that, but I want people who know that are on the outside looking in that that person is going to go through a gambit of emotions. They're going to go through a gambit of emotion. Every 5 minutes may be a different emotion. It hurts, and the longer you're in a relationship, the more it hurts. Um, but I think the first thing that helped me with dealing with loss was surrounding myself with the right people. Right, I didn't surround myself with people who said, "Oh, she wrong, she did you wrong, you did this." Almost everybody I surrounding myself with started with, "You gonna get through this. It's gonna get better." Right. So the first thing I did was had a collection of people who wanted to see me power through and be me again. Right. That wanted me to see, not do stuff that was detrimental to my growth mentally as an individual. So I had the right people around me, and I named a few, but there's a lot more who I surrounded myself with. And if I miss you, it's just for the purpose of not, you know, being too long winded. But I surrounded myself with people who said, "Keith, you a good guy. You gonna get through this." I surrounded myself with people who said, "Keith, what do you need from me?" Um, it wasn't people's like, "Oh, you should do this. You should take that out. You should do that." Those were the people I surrounded myself with. And on the next level, I made sure I got the mental health resources that I need. So I leaned on my therapist, right? I leaned on my therapist heavily. I got into journaling. If you don't journal, journaling is a great way to de-stress, declutter your mind, uh, to help you put it down in writing. And so I like, sometimes I go back to my journal and look at some of the things I wrote to help me grow from those things. So I surrounded myself with the right people. I had my therapist. I journaled. Um, I took inventory of my life. That's the critical piece. That's a part we miss in this, because one thing about me, Kev, is when I went through this entire process, I came out. The reason why I went through so many gamut emotions, because I didn't know who Keith was. I didn't. My life was so ingrained into the Davis family that the individual identity of Keith was lost. And we tend to do that in relationships. We get so ingrained into relationships that we forget that there's two individuals within that relationship, right? And that's okay to have individuality, and that's why a few podcasts ago I talked about interdependency, right? Not codependency, not independence, interdependency, right? And so I had lost who I was, and so I took inventory. Kev, I took inventory, man. My inventory was 7 pages long. 7 pages long, and of me trying to figure out who I was, what I lost in this whole situation. and that process really helped me figure out what I want to get back to and who I am internally. And then I got into groups like divorce care. Divorce care was phenomenal for me because I got to talk through the stages of grief, stages of all the different pieces that go along with divorce. I got to talk through all those and watch videos and all. So I got in programs. I wasn't, but the key piece, Kim, I wasn't afraid to seek help, right? I wasn't afraid to seek support, right? I wasn't afraid to lean on others. You used to check me all the time with my mindset. I have a mindset and you should check me on it. Like, no, like, and it wasn't about, you'd be like, why does it matter? Like, why does, and so that really helped a lot because it helped me refocus back on track of finding me. And it was very instrumental. So I just surrounded myself with the right people. And then I also realized that I started realizing that this is not an overnight process. Like reconfiguring yourself is not an overnight process. And it says for every, and I think I said the stat before in the previous podcast, but for every 7 years of marriage, it's going to take 1 full year to work that out. Well, I was married for 15 years, so it's going to take me at least 2 years. I'm only 1 year in, right? So I still got a whole nother year. And so just realizing that there's a process to this, that it's not the switch isn't going to flip overnight, because the people who switches flip overnight make a lot of mistakes. They going through, what people call, I'm going to say, a whole phase, right? They start going through phases that are detrimental to their growth as an individual because they want immediate satisfaction. They want it to be a fix. They want immediate relief. And no, this is getting over any relationship is a phase. It's a phases to this, man. And I had to keep that in perspective. So make sure you ground it under the right people, and make sure you seeking out the resources that'll be most beneficial to you. And then just remember that change come in phases. It's not going to be overnight. It's impossible to be overnight.
Yeah, it's something about wanting to be loved, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when that ends, and you talked about the whole phase, right? It's because you want to feel love again, right? You want to
Mm-hmm.
that you want to
Yeah.
feel that comfort. And I know that was something with me where when I lost that love, right, when that failed, and I there was this void, and I wanted to fill it with more love, and you rush and you do things and you get in situations. But know what I learned about me and my process is that I looked at myself, and you said reevaluate who you are and what you in your life, and I saw myself as a failure in the sense of I saw my life was a component, and who I am was based off the sum of my failures. I looked at my life as the sum of my failures is who Kevin is. And that's a terrible way to look at yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
You didn't make it to the NFL, failure. Two, failed at one marriage, failed at another marriage. Like I started looking at all these failures in my life, and I thought that's who Kevin was.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it took me to where I had to get to a point where that void that I was trying to fill, I had to realize what that void was. And the only way I could do it, and I tell people all the time, find out who, if you believe in God, and I hope you all do, find out who God is for yourself, right? Don't let nobody, you can listen to preachers, pastors and preachers pour into you. They're great, they're awesome, they're anointed to do their work. But at some point in time, you got to see God for yourself, find out who you are in God.
Mm-hmm.
And when I took time to do that, I got to understand that I'm not a sum of my failures. I'm a sum of his greatness, right? And when you get to that point to where you re-see things from that lens, it changes. Even when you have another failure, so you have another divorce. Okay, I failed at that too, but God is still on the throne. God is still great. God has a purpose. You stop looking at your failures as the worst thing in life. Right, there's a lot of other things that could happen besides divorce or losing a felon in a relationship or your girlfriend or boyfriend breakup, with just a lot of other stuff that's bad out there in the world compared to that. And I just changed my mindset on how I looked at outcomes of situations, not just relationships, but everything. If I lost my job, like how would I view losing my job? Like, oh, I'm a failure. No, God can provide another one. I'll be all right. Failed a
Yep.
relationship. Yeah, it sucked. I failed that relationship.
Yep.
God got the right person in mind for me, right? Which I think He provided. It's like, which I know He provided, right? So, that's how I dealt with it, man. Like, I'm no longer some of my failures, right? No longer some of my failures, but I'm a sum of His greatness. And as long as I think
And I,
that and believe that, I'm all right. I'm all right.
and I'm glad you said that because I had to come to a point where I was the same way, like thinking about, man, fail. And then I just said to myself one day, I'm a hell of a man.
Bro.
I'm a hell of a father. Right. And I started looking at what my positive attributes, but and all of that overshadowed my failures. But even like you've seen the change in me because even like this when we went to Vegas, I lost my cell phone. Well, my cell phone got stolen. Let's keep it real. I lost my cell phone, and I
No, you
was
sat
like,
your cell phone down like a fool.
and it got snatched. But what was my response? And I guess it's good. I get another one. Like I think this process helped me understand that there's so much more to life. Like there's so much that I can count as joy. There's that I'm in my right mind. I'm loved. Like I just realized there was so much more to life than what I was given. I was given value, so much value to something when there was so much more to life. There was so much more to Keith. Right? I put all the proverbial. I put all my eggs in one basket. Right? Marriage. But there was so much more to Keith. That's awesome. Right. And that's my mindset. There's so much more to me. And I think that's what keep me in my mindset, man. Keep me focused on growing as an individual and growing as a dad and growing as a principal and grow. I think I just knowing that there's more value to me than what I put on myself back then has been very instrumental in how I move forward.
Yeah. So let's talk. Let's flip the script a little. Not flip the script, but let's move into after the after.
Mm-hmm.
Afterlife, should I
Woo!
say? So so dating again
Mm.
after a traumatic experience, right? Let's dating again. Seeking out who God has for you, if that's what you're looking for immediately right after, or if not, somebody you can grow with and figure that out over time. I know we talked a little bit about what we should do prior. That means we talked about inventory and everything and seeing everything else. But is there anything else that we should do prior to dating again, right? Is there anything that you think somebody should do be prior to stepping out on that ledge?
I think I think you need to make sure you're ready. And like you said all the time, what your heart posture can mean a lot of different things. But where's your heart in this process, right? You have to be willing to say we always looking for love, but sometimes our heart not ready for love, right? Sometimes we jump back into that deep end and we gon' I mean you bound to just have right? Like you jump in the deep end because you think you ready. But I'm saying in this process, you gotta know you ready, right? Because you can embark down a road and that road be similar to the road you just got off of. You have to take inventory. You have to do what's best for you, and you have to take your time. Right. It's so easy. It's so easy to want to jump back in love because, like Kev said, we want that feeling. We want to feel love. But before you do any of that, make sure this is the no. Make sure both are ready, because this can be ready and this not be right. Your heart can be ready and your mind not be. Your mind can be ready, but your heart not be. But they got to be in tandem if you want to get into the right relationships and make the right decisions when going into another relationship. both of them have to be in tandem and ready to go into this. So check your heart, check your mind, and make sure they are on one accord for what you want to go to. Because if you don't, you're gonna be in this situation again.
And just to piggyback off that is that that's not just for you. You're not doing that just for you. You're doing that for whoever you're going to come in contact with next. Because if you
Mm-hmm.
don't fix those things, those things aren't in tandem, you're going to ruin that next one. Trust. Guess who knows? I
Yep.
know. I know from experience. I mean, you
Yeah.
probably know from experience. If you look back in your relationship, even if you don't know right off the top of your head, just go reevaluate all your relationships. Think about what ended, then you got to the next one that ended. Were you ready to move into that next one? Were both of those, was your heart and your mind in tandem? I bet you if you go back and look at it, you'll say no. I can promise you on
Mm-hmm.
me, I can say no. Oh, I wanted it in my heart, but my mind was ready for that second one.
Yeah,
It
we're still
wasn't.
carrying baggage. We're still
Right? It
we
was.
carried the baggage right in there.
Yeah. So it's not just for you that you need to make sure those things are set. It's for the person, the next person you're going to give your heart to.
Yeah.
If you're not, you're going to fail. And you're gonna be like the sum of all failures, right? Like I was like, oh, failed again. Woe is me.
Yeah.
It's not just about you at this time, right? So both of
But
you
with
and
that,
I
real
have
quick,
go ahead.
real quick, yeah, I just wanted to say, like, and when I went through that process, I literally wanted to be the best version of me for whoever got me next. It wasn't
Yeah,
all about the hurt and pain and what other people did for me. I wanted to be the best version of me, right? So that whatever I'm giving to this person, I mean, I'm leaving the baggage at the door, but I want to be the best version of me. So you gotta want to be the best version of you for you first, and then you can be the best version of you for them.
yeah. So I'm gonna jump over bullet points. I think it can be added to another one, right? So do's and don'ts. When you starting to date again, do's and don'ts. And the reason why I'm jumping over the bullet point I'm jumping over is the kids one, right? So some people have kids, some people don't. Kids play a major factor in do's and don'ts, right? Kids play a huge factor in how you maneuver when you go into a new relationship. But let's talk about do's and don'ts going to the next relationship. Now I'll jump it off. The main don't is don't bring in baggage, like he just said. Don't bring in your past relationship baggage into this one. Easier said than done, right? Because that
Oh,
pain and
so
hurt,
easier said than done.
right? That pain and hurt still lives there. It still resides. For like I put it this way: if I if I get cut on my arm and the doctor sews it and repairs it, still have a scar.
Yeah.
I still can look down and see and remember what happened in that area. What happened? Scars don't like that because you get healed doesn't mean you forget it. Doesn't mean the thought of what the trauma goes away. But you can't allow that trauma to affect your current or what's going to be your current relationship. That's where I think a lot of relationships fail. Is when people bringing that back. Oh, my man did last man did this. My last girl did that. If you go in with that, it
But
this is the thing. What happens though is because so a lot of people have lists. We talked about lists. A lot of people have lists. So when you get hurt, you start to change your list.
mm-hmm.
When you get hurt, you change things on your list. Changing your list is the same thing as bringing trauma to the relationship because now
Yes.
you're evaluating it based off your previous hurt and pain, which is not a horrible thing, but it can be. It can become very detrimental because now you're gonna be looking at somebody. Oh, he chewed his mouth open. That last dude chewed his mouth open too. And he blah blah blah.
mm-hmm.
It
Yeah.
doesn't even go. It doesn't even go. But for you, because of your trauma, it goes to you. But you have felt that relationship. So that's the biggest don't for me is don't bring it up to that. And I did that from one marriage to another one. But in this new relationship, cut it.
Yeah.
Cut it off. It is totally cut off. There
Mm-hmm.
is no comparison from our
None at
past relationship.
all.
Like, no. I
And it
don't
took me
think
a
about
while
right.
and it took me a while to get there. I mean, that's why I say,
Oh
don't
yeah,
let me stunt. It took me a while to get there because I'm still going through that phrase, but I'm there now to where like it's different. But can I tag along with your don't? Because
yeah.
I'm gonna give another don't, but it's gonna come with a do if you don't mind. So you talking about baggage, and this go with the same thing. Don't come in with the wall up because that's that baggage, right? But come in guarded. So don't come in with a wall, but do come in guarded. That's the difference. We have to separate the difference between being guarded and having a wall up. Because the wall up is trauma. That's the baggage, right? You will never allow the person that God has for you to get past that wall as long as it up. But you can be guarded, right? You can be like, there's some things that I will and won't accept. So I got my guard up, right? So I won't take no blows. But sometimes we put these walls up and don't understand that these walls are walls of trauma, not walls of protection. They're walls of trauma. They're baggage, right? We have baggage piled up that's blocking our blessings, or blocking us to get to that blessing, that blessed relationship, right? But that doesn't mean you shouldn't be guarded, right? You don't want to go through the same trauma you went through. You don't want to be hurt again. You don't want to be
Yeah.
used. You don't want to be abused. So guard yourself 100%. But walls will block you from what you deserve getting in. Walls,
Man.
just how good that wall can keep something out. I mean, keep something in. It keeps something from getting in. It can keep, that's good and bad, but it also keeps stuff from getting out too, right? So it not only does it stop the bad and good from coming in, which the bad I get, but the good from coming in, but it stop who you are internally as a person and the gifts that you have to give somebody from getting out, from being received, from being seen, right? Because have you ever been on a date or something where you walk in and they face till you all on? You've already got your guard, you already got your walls up. This ain't going well. You can tell by people's face. This ain't gonna go well. And it's
Yep.
because you already have this wall up because of past hurt and trauma, right? Take that wall out, take that baggage out, but be guarded. Don't let nobody take you for no fool. Rope a dope, duck, but be guarded. But you don't, that wall can stop your blessings just as much it can stop the bad stuff from coming in. So don't build a wall, but do be guarded. Is the one I have.
Yeah. And I have do and a don't also. And I'm gonna say it, and y'all know my saying was one of those Kevinisms. A do is full disclosure.
Mm-hmm.
When I first talked to Anisha, full disclosure. Now, and after my divorce, I said, you know what? Next person I get with, I'm telling them everything. And I believe this to the core of me, telling you everything. You choose whether you want to
Yep.
continue the conversation. I lay everything on the line. What I did wrong, who I am, expectation, everything. How many times I've been married, everything. Now you decide if you want to continue. Now, if you want to continue knowing that information, cool. Because obviously, I'm also going to tell you how I've changed, how things are different. Because I'm gonna tell you the bad. Definitely, I'm gonna tell you the bad stuff. I'm gonna tell you the good stuff. But you're gonna know my progression. If you choose to continue with me, then let's move forward. But I personally believe don't hide that information because it's gonna come out eventually, and then you have to
Mm-hmm.
explain it. And then you're gonna wonder why I get in a relationship, why are we together? You can stop it at the beginning. If you don't like what I just told you, like for somebody they've been to jail, why wait until you 6 months into a relationship to somebody you've been in jail before? Or you can say when you first meet them, be honest with you, I had to go. I went to prison for a little bit of time. I made some mistakes when I was younger. It caught up with me, but I'm moving forward. I got out. And if they don't like you for being honest, shouldn't be with them anyway. For men, for sure, right? Because women always say, "I want an honest man. I want somebody that's honest." If I can't tell you that, if I can tell you all that honesty, and you still don't want to talk to me because I was honest, we weren't meant to be together anyway.
Mm-hmm.
As simple as that. And my don't is, I'll say my don't is, don't expect someone to change, right? I think that's one of our biggest things that we say, this is what I look for in a person, and they got these characteristics, so I'm gonna try it out, and I'm gonna expect them these other ones. I'm gonna get them to change to fit how I am. Don't go to relationship expect anybody to change. When they lay out something straight for you, and they say this is who I am, believe that's who they are. Now, if they want to change, they will. Don't expect the change, right? Determine whether you can deal or live with those things you don't like. That's how you should evaluate it. Don't expect them to change. I'm telling you, we 40 years old. We finna be 40. I wouldn't expect nobody to change at this age. Oh, you don't expect me to change. I am who I am, right? There's some things I've changed personally for myself, but I'm not finna change my stance on certain things just to be with a woman. A woman should change her stance on certain things just to be with a man. Can you deal with those things that you don't like? If you can't, we shouldn't be together, right? To me, it's that simple. I got to that point in my life where certain things are just that simple, and we make it so hard. We make it so hard.
And you know what? I want to go back to what yo don't a little bit, because this is the foundation that you build our new relationship on, right? So you can build the relationship on secrets or trust, truth, and honesty. Which house gonna stand the test of time, right? Which house gonna stand? Like, this is who I am. This is like, you make the decision if you want to accept that. And it's saying yes, that's already setting the foundation of truth, honesty, and trust automatically. So one of my dues is find somebody who's going to respect your process, right? Because your process, and you respect theirs too. It's respecting each other's process, because your process may take short, long, may cause you to be reserved, fully invest. Like, my due is to find somebody who's willing to respect your process. I'm gonna tell you the dopest thing that happened to me in the past year. All right, me and Amanda we were friends. I was going through the divorce. We were just friends, and then once that thing started to pick up, she said something that was very dope, and I'll never forget it. She was like, "Do what you have to do, explore, date. I know eventually you're gonna come back to me." To me, that was dope. I'm gonna tell you why. Even though it doesn't sound dope to most, what she was telling me was, I respect your process. I'm not gonna rush your process. I'm not gonna ask you for something during this process. I'm not gonna demand it to be moved on. I respect your process, and however long that process takes for you to heal, you got it. That was one of the dopest conversations I've ever had with a woman, because it told me, you respect me. You respect me as a person. I'm not man. You respect me as a person to know that, hey, I'm going through stuff, and your speed is not the same as my speed, and I'm going to respect that. But what you have, and I know other situations where it's like, oh, we've been going out on dates. When you gonna let me come over? When you gonna let me do this? When we gonna step out together? Like, that's a lack of respect for the process. Now, don't get me wrong. Sometimes you want to get drug along, but you gotta respect the other's process, and it has to be mutual. We're respecting each other's process. So find a situation where the other person respects your process. And I'm telling you, man, it's one of the best feelings I've had in a long time, man.
And stop aiming for perfection.
Hmm.
Y'all know there was literally only one perfect person ever in the history of the world.
Ever.
Anyone ever close to perfect in the world. So why do we think we're finna find this perfect person?
But Kevin, why are you gonna find a perfect person and we not perfect? You know what I'm saying? Like we not perfect.
I said
But we
all the
want to find
time.
a perfect person.
I'm so far from perfect. And, you know, like me, Denisha, the one thing that was key to me, and I got to this point where I just wanted a person that gave a dang, that
Hmm.
cared, and you knew they
Yeah.
truly cared.
That's it.
Like, like to feel that, like argue and fight here and there, and like not agree with stuff, but to know that they care and value your opinion and value you, that should be what matters. That should be the
Yeah.
only thing that truly matters. Because I'm telling you, man, get somebody that you know, no matter what, that they care and they're gonna ride with you. It changes the dynamic, how you think about things, or how you maneuver. Well, you'll be willing to change if necessary. If you got
Yep.
somebody like that, you'll be willing to say, you know what, I ain't right in this area. I need to do better here. And you know somebody that truly
And,
to mess with you like that?
and you so right. And you remember the first time I called and told you, man, it was dope. What happened? Like I was in one of the darkest times of my life. And like I said, we were only friends. We had just reconnected. We were only friends. And I was like, this is my first birthday going through this divorce, like the darkest time. And I said, I'm going dark. I don't want to talk to nobody. I don't want to do nothing to nobody. Do you know this girl went to the grocery store, got a cupcake and my favorite drink, wild cherry Pepsi, and said happy birthday. We are 10 hours apart, right? Like you said, it's about just giving a dang. Just care, just that much. Just giving a dang. And so often what we do is we we get selfish in this process, right? We get selfish in this process where we say, "What about me? What am I?" And did you ever feel like there was a time where you needed to step out of who you were for a second and just give a dang yourself? Like, did you ever feel like there was a time where you had to say, you know what, I'm being too selfish, like with me, because I think there's time periods during this situation where you need to be selfish, but I think sometimes we can get stuck in that selfish mode, and that's why it's hard for us to give a dang because it's all about what about me, what about me.
Yeah. No, 100% agree. Um, you have to. I mean that's pivotal to moving forward and growing in that relationship. But I want to touch on two more areas before we I don't know Carol on this one go, man, but two more
Mm-hmm.
areas because I think it's important. It's kids and also how to find your next mate, right? Next person, right?
Mm-hmm.
So kids, why kids are important. Some of you guys might not have kids, some of you do. Um, they have to be a part of the equation.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like for instance, for me, my son, I talk about him all the time. He's diagnosed with ASD. So it's known that Caleb Israel Davis, kid, is my main priority.
Mm-hmm.
He will always be my main priority. If you can't come in knowing that and understanding that and want more time than I need to allocate for him, then we're not gonna work. And that's not because I don't love you or care for you. It's because you have to understand coming joining us together that this is an integral part of who I am. My son is integral to who I am. It's important. It's understanding the concept that and that's the only way it will work if you that does go back to giving the things to caring, right? To knowing that that situation is pivotal to who that person is. Kids are pivotal to their parents' lives.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're, especially if you're coming to come to the situation where you single, maybe don't have kids, and they do, you can't come into that wanting to put yourself over those kids. You got to come in with understanding that those kids are important. They're going to be important. They're like I think some people get in a relationship and want their mates to have kids to just. I still want you to love on me, man. You always got to do stuff with the kids. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They're kids. That's their blood. It's like, what do you want? That's you coming in thinking you should get more than the kids is selfish. It's selfish. But guess what happens though? If you get somebody who cares and understands that, I'm telling you, the bond is way stronger because you don't have to deal with fighting back with the dynamic of who should I choose first, her or the kids, or him or the kids. You have to worry about that dynamic because guess what? You both are worrying about the kids to make sure the kids are good and solid. It's not just you trying to pick and choose between the two. Kids have to be valued in that way. If you can't value kids in that way, get in a relationship, then don't get with anybody with kids. Right? Don't get with anybody that have kids, and don't be with anybody that's like that.
So two pieces. I do want to say, on the flip side, slightly, I agree with you once again, 100%. But on the flip side, you also have to understand that you're embarking into a relationship, so you have to give some value to that too, right? And I think
Sure.
I think in some instances, I'm not saying in most, but in some instances that value is taken away. But I want to talk about it from a different perspective because in your situations, either it was you with no kids and the other person had kids, or you have kids and the other person don't have kids. Now, what about when both of you have kids? And I'm going through this right now, right? So I'm gonna tell you what it is. I'm gonna tell you, and you're right though. Value, understand those kids are gonna be there and they're gonna support and provide and do whatever you have for those kids. Um, but you know what I come to find out is it's an insecurity, right? And I have it. I'm not like I'm speaking from experience because it's me, right? It's an insecurity because of what Kevin said. Because you want to be valued at or above, and it's not about being valued at or above. It's two different planes, right? We put them on the same plane, and they're not. Right? It's two different planes. It's not a competition between the person and their kids, but also it's one thing I was thinking about also was when you got two families with two different dynamics and making those dynamics blend. And the truth of the matter is, it can be a salad bowl, right? It can be a mixture. You still see all the pieces, right? It still can be a salad bowl, right? We may parent differently, and that's hard. I'm gonna tell you right now from experience, that's hard because it's like you may be thinking, I wouldn't do that way. I wouldn't do that. I do it like that. It's gonna be hard to break that mindset because of the way you discipline, because the way you treat, because the way you interact. But your significant other is probably completely opposite. And so how do you blend those families? And the first way you do that is understand that it's two different planes, right? It's okay to be together and do things a little bit differently. Right. In our classrooms, when we teach, we differentiate our instruction based on the individual needs of each kid. Right. But I also do that within my family with KJ and Elijah. I differentiate my discipline, my love. It's going to be equal, but it's going to look different. So why is that different when you bring in a significant other and their kids? It's okay to differentiate based on the relationship. And it's a struggle. I'm telling you, because I'm going through it. It's a struggle, but it's doable. And it comes from simply, Kevin, insecurity. It is an insecurity that I have to deal with. Right? Because it don't have to be my who says my way is perfect. Right? Who say the way I discipline, the way I raise is perfect? Maybe we can learn from one another. Maybe I'm a little too harsh, and so I need that nurturing that you bring. Maybe you're the balance that I need in my parenting. You know what I mean? And so often our insecurities cause us to when this other person comes into our life to think that, oh, there's a challenge and there's a competition, when it's two different planes, two different playing fields. And guess what? We can play both. It's an insecurity and a selfishness that we just got to get through.
And it's all about communication, right? It's all about
Yeah.
communication, talking it through, walking it through, and just having an understanding, right? Like with me and Caleb, like if you hear my story, you hear what I'm about, you get it, right? You get it. You get why I
Mm-hmm.
am how I am with my son and how tight I am with my son, right? So to come in and not value that will be a problem. It'll be
Oh
a
yeah.
problem. Let's end on this though. Where should people go to find their next mate, right? So some people like to meet people in the bars. Some people like to be hooked up by somebody. Some people do online, right? Um, I met Anisha online, right? I don't think there's anything wrong with meeting somebody online. Some people have a huge problem with that. Because you can't the interaction part of it. Some people don't like meet people in bars because you meet somebody when they're intoxicated. It's hard to really understand who they are. Some people don't like being hooked up on blind dates because you don't get a chance to get that first interaction, whether on the phone or communicating somehow with that person to really understand what you're getting yourself into. What's the right way? What's the right way?
So I'm gonna tell you the right way. The right way is whatever you choose.
Whatever you want to do.
And I'm gonna tell you why, because I thought, man, when I start dating again, I'm gonna get on, man, BLK, Facebook dating. I'm gonna get online dating. I'm gonna find
Plenty
somebody
of
to go out on
fish.
dates, hook it up. Plenty of fish, all of it, right? And that's why because I think that's the way of the world. The way of the world is online dating. My therapist straight up told me, she's like, Keith, you're going to find somebody organically. It's not going to be online. It's not going to be at a club. It's going to be an organic connection. Me in my head, I'm like, nah, I don't know about that one. I follow my wife online. Online dating is where I mean, go on some dates. I just hook up, and guess who? I found Amanda organically, right? It's whatever fits your personality, right? I don't want you to say a certain way is wrong or right. And I think I went in a mindset like thinking like, man, I ain't going out no glowing. Like, try it all. Just find which process works for you and go that route. For me, I thought it was online dating, and I found my version organically. Right. So all of it's okay. And guess what, people? Nothing is absolutely wrong with online dating. Nothing is wrong with online dating.
Not at
Online
all.
dating also, if you think about it, gives you an opportunity to get to know people, like rather than set up on a blind date where you where you getting to know them then and there. I get to know you before, then let's go out for coffee. Let's go out. So online dating is probably the primary way nowadays, which has been a total 180 from the early 2000s. But
Because
whatever
it gives you
floats your boat
control.
and finds your lost remote. Yeah, it gives you control. It
Online,
gives you control of the
it gives you
situation.
control, right? So they all have benefits, right? So online dating gives you benefit, control, and all have pros and cons. Online dating gives you benefit and control. Being like those who like to be in blind dates, you like the spontaneousness of it. Like some people like the spontaneous of it. Meet people in the club. Some people like the spontaneous of that, like being wild and free. They all have positive. It's all about who you are. What's your
Yeah,
dynamic?
what fit?
Like, yeah, know who you are. If you say, you know what, I'm this outgoing free person, I can go out to the club and bars and meet people and just talk and have this conversation. Cool. Do you? If you type of person where I'm not that, I'd rather go online and see how they are and read their bio and analyze it and then slowly message and see how it do online dating. If you like, my friend is good at hooking people up and things like that. I'm gonna see if if they want to send me on a blind date. Cool, let's check out a blind date. Like they all had a positive. Like don't let nobody tell you anyone is wrong.
It's
All of
wrong
them
or
have
crazy. Like,
benefits.
cause you know what we hear, kid? We hear, oh, them online date, they be crazy. Online dating be crazy folks. Hey, it's crazy folks in the club. It's crazy folks on the street. It's
Everywhere, bro.
just because it's online dating versus in person don't mean that the person not gonna be crazy. You know what I mean? Like, so find what floats your boat, right? What's gonna help you make the most effective, genuine connection, and don't knock other people for their process. If the other person want to go online date, let them go online date. If one person want to
That
go speed date, let them speed date.
that that's a key word that you said, process, right? No matter which one you choose, have a process.
Mm-hmm.
Have a flow on how this thing is going to work out. Online dating, you're gonna take those sign of message and then we'll move to like some video FaceTime and then actual date. Or meet somebody in person. Okay, we're gonna set up a minor date. Like have a process, right? And I think that's the major thing about it. Some people go into these things and they don't have a process. It's like, oh, I met this person. Now what's next? No, have a workflow. Now evaluate on whether I want to have a second date or not, and how to move forward. Process is always key, no matter which one of these you choose. There has to be a
Yeah.
process that you set and a standard that you set for yourself going forward. That's the key.
And I'm in with this, Kip. Everything we're talking about, this whole podcast, this whole topic today is about process. The whole thing. It's all of it's 100% about process because the process to heal. I mean, the going through healing is a process. I'm not still completely through it. I still got at minimum a whole year to go. Right. The process of dating again. I mean, the direction to date again is a process. It's about you establishing your process for those specific pieces of your life, right? How am I going to get through the hurt and the loss? What's my process? How am I going to start loving again? What's the process? How am I going to start seeking relationship again? What's the process? Each one of those cups should be filled with a process. If it's not, it's going to fail. If not, it's just air. It's just air. You need to fill it with a process. And when you got a process in those instances, then you'll know what direction to go for each of those components. But this episode should be called The Process. New chapter, The Process. My last thing, start writing new books, not new chapters. Start writing new
Amen.
books. For me, this is a new book. This new book. I'm writing. This is volume 2. Stop writing chapters. Write new books. This is a new book of your life.
Yeah, you
That's
talking
how I
about
look at it.
process. Or you talking about process. I work for a manufacturing company, food manufacturing company, man, and no one process can be skipped in a food manufacturing company. There's not one process can be moved because it affects the quality of the food.
Mm-hmm.
That's just like a life and relationship. You can't skip process because now you're affecting the quality of that relationship or quality of what you're trying to build. Even the food processing, once it's all done, it still has to go through a metal scanner detector to make sure there's no metal in the food to make sure it's edible, right? No process can be skipped, even the bagging, the packaging, how you package a relationship. It matters. Quality, right? No process can be skipped. And even in the situation of finding a new mate, a new loved one, don't skip any process, any steps. So because they fine. Don't skip that process to evaluate who they are as a person. They can be fine. They won't be have ripped abs, all that. 6'6", NBA star. But you still need to know who they are up here and right here.
Yeah, make
Don't
sure those
skip
are
the
ready.
process. Don't get the put them through that scan detector. Make sure ain't no metal in that process. Like they might look good. They might look good on outside, but let's scan them a little bit. See if there's some defects. It's okay.
And none of those processes work unless these are ready to go. Right? If these ain't ready to go, then your process is gonna be a sham.
So don't get in a relationship they're not. Stop. Fix you before getting a relationship. You first.
Yeah.
Then a relationship. Not backwards.
Process, y'all. It's a process. And it works out. As you can tell from our current situations and the way we speaking on this topic, it works. It's healthy.
Healthy.
I'm excited about it. How about you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, y'all. TuVues podcast, man. This is your boy Kev G and Dr. Davis, man. Again, we like hearing from you. What you got to say? What you want to tell us? How you feel? Like, man, we mean that though. We say that a lot, but we mean it, man. We like hearing. Even if you got a topic you want to hear about, throw it our way. Throw us a lie. I'm telling you, he's Shaq, and I'm who can I be? I'll be Dominique.
Theo Ratliff.
I'm on your hamburger helper head shape. I'm on your we roasting. All right, man. Yeah, man. We like hearing from y'all, man. We like having topics, man. Like, don't be like if you throw us a topic, man, and it's a legit topic, we'll do it. We'll do it. We won't shy away from it. We don't shy away from any topics at all, as you can see. There's some we haven't talked about yet. We'll decide what we want to talk about. We're not shying away from it. Just see if it's worth a podcast topic. But yeah, we love y'all, man. Anything else, Doc?
That's it. We'll see y'all on the next one.
Think it'd be before New Year? We can do one next week. We'll be all right.
Yeah, we'll do one next week.
We'll get one out for New Year.
We need to make the New Year one a yearly one though, so we can bring a New Year right, man.
Yeah, so that'll be New Year. We'll do a New Year episode next week, man. Get our heart posture for 2024. Hey, I'm telling you right now, 2024 is gonna be a great year. I already feel it.
Yeah, boy.
I feel it, man. I feel it for everybody, man. Anybody listens to this podcast, you're gonna have this next podcast. You have a great 2024. I promise.
Yeah. Yeah, boy.
All right, man. TuVues podcast. Your boy KLG, Dr. Davis, man. We finna roll up out of here.
We out. Thank y'all for listening.
Yes, sir.